Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Pisces, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for the week of March 30th to April the 5th. This week we have the Crumbling Oracle card. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Strength, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups and the Three of Wands. So far Pisces, the readings that are coming out couldn't be more completely bang on what's going on in the world at the moment. We have towers and crumblings. This is pretty much the Oracle card version of the tower, just coming out all over the place. And, you know, we really, the readings, I'm reading them a little bit more generally this week, sort of moving between the general and the personal, because I really feel that what's playing out on the world stage is pretty much what's happening for us on a personal, individual level. So I do really, feel for each and every one of you that are going through big transitions, who may have lost jobs or, things coming down around them, facing instability and all of that. And I really hope that you're all healthy and well as your friends and family. Just keep in mind that we're all in this together and we just need to pull together as a community. We're really going through a massive shift as humanity. And a lot of constructs, as we know them, are going to come down, and it's obviously going to make us feel quite unstable in the interim, but there isn't too much that we can do about it, so we just have to try and remain as calm as possible. So let's kick off with the Oracle card, guys. It pretty much says it all, the crumbling. I mean, all the constructs as we know it pretty much are coming down at the moment. What are you clinging on to? There is a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on a shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole, so you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in this fire. You're being called to surrender, to stop trying to hold it all together, to loosen your grip, to let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you trying your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend everything is okay? It's just so accurate, guys. I mean, yeah, we're going through a global tower moment at the moment currently, and I find that in these kind of situations, the universe has kind of tickled us with a feather for too long, and as a collective we haven't responded. So now the universe has brought us a Mack truck in this coronavirus, however it has occurred, whether it's been engineered, whether it's nature's revolt, we're in it, and it's upon us, and it's causing some huge amount of karmic cleansing and a big shift in us. And I just find that everything that is kind of certain is now uncertain. And like the tower, anything that's built on a shaky foundation is absolutely going to come down. So yeah, the things that are coming down around us basically are all of our institutions here. The Hierophant stands for those institutionalized settings. At the moment, we're seeing our economy starting to crumble. We probably will have a global financial crisis or a recession. Many of us are losing our workplaces, our jobs, our ways to make money and support ourselves. Many of us are having our faith tested, but we do need to have hope and faith during this time. For some of us, this is going to cause stress, and it's going to impact our relationships, our friendships, our marriages, all of these kinds of things. But ultimately, what's happening is we're having a grand old shake-up where the old paradigm needs to be released. So, in this world that we're living in, it's still being led with, that sense of greed and the corporation and old outmoded ways of thinking that are not based on truth, that are not based on love and light. And I really feel that this whole crisis that we're facing right now is probably, something that has occurred to shake us free of a lot of that kind of energy, because we did move into the 5D energy, the fifth dimension, last year, which is a massive increase in the energetic vibration for us personally as a collective. But what happens is that really brings to the surface the old paradigm to be let go of. So, you know, the Hierophant stands for our traditions, our institutionalized settings, and together with the Queen of Pentacles, who is usually the ultimate representation of security, of stability, of having it all together, I really feel that together with the crumbling and what's going on at the moment, we are getting, you know, our whole sense of stability and everything we know is being challenged. And this is the challenge that we need to be able to ride through, and we need to be able to be okay with the uncertainty and okay with the instability that we will be faced with, because as the Oracle card said, we have to go through this in order to get to a new beginning, to be that phoenix rising, to get to the rebirth that I've just seen coming in every reading that I've done so far. You know, just look in the crumbling card here, it's the same for the Tower. You know, we have this old paradigm, which is actually a block or a barrier, but behind that, there is something far greater. There is like a quantum leap in the way that we've been operating as a society, and that is also reflected at an individual level as well. So, you know, we've got two number 5s in this reading. 5 in tarot is a number of conflict and of change. We've all been conflicted for a long time. The world has been in a state of conflict, and I always say that the antidote to conflict is change. So the Tower, or the crumbling in tarot, is the greatest card of change, and it is it's strong change, and it can be chaotic and it can be traumatic, but it comes in to realign us to our truth, to our authenticity, and get us back on our life path, to clear karma, to clear the rubble. So a lot of us are having our foundation well and truly shaken at the moment. So in the current energies, we have the 5 of Cups and we have the Strength card. I'm not surprised to see the Strength card here, and it's actually like a bit of a blessing. So strength and courage is on your side. But in the 5 of Cups, we see somebody who is well and truly holding on to and fixated on the past energy. So a lot of us are going to be faced with this as we are pretty much forced to let go of the things that defined us, the things that were a huge part of our identity. For example, someone's job or role in the world can be a huge factor in our identity. So many people are losing their jobs. Many of my friends who work in hospitality have lost their jobs, and that's a place they turn up to every day. They talk to their regular customers, they talk to their colleagues who often in that industry become friends, you know, after work drinks, all of that kind of thing, and they've lost that. They've lost that whole sense of friendship, that whole sense of community. So you can understand how somebody in that situation might be really finding it difficult to transition from that. You know, some people have had to leave their homes and potentially, you know, go back to a homeland, or, you know, maybe go back to their families, which is not a bad thing, but maybe they've had to leave their own little sanctuary in order to do that. That can be challenging as well. And some of you, you know, this might have placed a great strain on your personal relationships. Some of them might be crumbling also. So in that 5 of Cups, because we see someone who's lamenting the past, you know, lamenting what can't be gotten back, which is gone now, you know, that wine is spilt from those cups and soaked into the earth. The issue with that is that that person is now not open to the new opportunities, the new gifts that are waiting there. Guys, they might not come in this week. Maybe it's not going to be until this whole drama has settled down, but there is new beginnings there waiting. And if we do lament the past and get stuck in this kind of negativity, you know, that's when we miss them, and you know, that's when the past really is the thief of the present. So one of the biggest keys of advice that I can offer is that we need to return home to that portal of the heart, to our inner sanctuary, because really when we're in the body, you know, that is where we can achieve our greatest sense of safety. Safety doesn't exist outside of us, it exists within us. And when we believe that within ourselves and feel that, that's when we feel safe, even when times are tough and things are unstable around us. And we must stay grounded during this time. So that's what we have here. And we have the Strength card. I mean, you're being asked to have the extra strength and courage this week, and to bring any parts of yourself under control that you may need to. So generally the lion here stands for our inner demon, our rage, our ego, and the angel is our higher self. So it's really important at this time to integrate those parts of ourselves, to remain whole and stable, to be led from our intuition and higher self, so that we make good decisions and not let the ego attached to the media fear mongering and the anxiety and all of that, because once we get into that, that's when we can really get into the spiral of the Five of Cups and get really stuck in that energy. So it's all about attaching to our inner wisdom, because that's when we can unlock our potential to make good decisions for ourselves. So in the near future, guys, things are going to turn around, and we have to keep in mind that, just like the death energy, every cycle that ends, there is a rebirth. There's nothing more sure in life than the birth, death, rebirth cycle. We go through seasons in every area of our life. And also on a global level, all of our structures and systems and traditions also go through seasons. And at the moment, they're in their winter, they're in a death, and things will turn around, and that will also reflect back to us on a personal level. So here we see that in that Three of Wands, somebody who has actually made the decision to turn their back on the past. So I see this as you moving on from that Five of Cups energy and saying, you know what, I know that the only way for me to continue is to move forward and think about how I can embrace the changes in my life. The Three of Wands is about somebody who is now committed to taking the inspired action they need to manifest and create a new direction, a new future, a new achievement and success in their lives. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you make that shift from focusing on the past to focusing on the present and beyond, that's when we start to see or sense those ships on the horizon, which stand for our successes that are coming in, our crop that is starting to sprout that will be harvested, not right now, but in our next season. They are the promise of that. And we have the Ace of Pentacles here, guys. So many meanings for this with right now, but for me, this is the fact that there will be a sense of coming back to your stability and security in the near future. Those of you that have been in financial hardship, there are new offerings coming in for you, new jobs, potentially windfalls. Maybe your government or community, it can help out in some way. This is the big coin. This really is abundance, financial stability and all of those good things. But it comes after somebody who's had to, walk a path, go through a portal, climb a mountain. So there could be some times of challenge before this comes in, but that's why we have to keep that hope and that trust and that faith that we will be looked after, and the divine gifts will come in at the right timing for us, because this comes in on the hand of the divine, this Ace of Pentacles. And the other thing to remember, guys, is that aces are the number one in each suit of the tarot. They are the seeds. We need to keep on taking the inspired action, which means surrendering, releasing the past, looking for new opportunities to make money or to rebuild relationships, to find our sense of security and stability, because that's when we water that seed, and that's when it can grow and expand, and eventually lead us to the Ten of Pentacles, in the future when these ships come in on the horizon. So guys, there's a lot of intense energy going around at the moment, but I am seeing in all of the readings that yes, we're all going to go through our own personal tower moments, but there is so much new growth and expansion waiting just behind that. So we just need to ride out this time. So I really do wish you all the best this week, guys, with the challenges that you may be going through. Check in on your neighbours, your friends and family, and help out where you can. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so it won't be for everyone. Feel free to leave me a comment. We can start a chat if anyone needs any support. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.